Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. Today's another holiday dish for around here. Today I'm making Mike's mom's baked corn. Now I've shared my mom's corn pudding recipe and I'll include a link for that at the end of the video. But today is Mike's mom's, which is totally different than my mom's and just as wonderful. And that's baked corn pudding. So every holiday meal won't be the same without it, and it's a really yummy treat. We don't make it that often, but it's really good. And it's really not hard to make. So I'm going to bring you along and show you how we make our holiday corn pudding. A whole lot goes into this. Some sugar, some salt, 4 eggs. I have the Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs for later for the top. Butter, cornstarch, a couple cans of corn, and milk. Now this is pretty basic. I've got the Vitamix out today for this. You can use a blender. You can use a food processor. I'm just using this because I have it and it works really great for this. Because you want to make this a really nice pulpy puree. You want it to be pretty smooth. So we're going to add our eggs and our salt and our sugar, our cornstarch, and our butter. And I'm going to only add half milk. You're going to add the other half in when we put it in the dish. Okay, so you can see this is all blended up, and we are going to add this to a greased casserole dish. This is a shallow one, and you want a shallower dish for this so that it will cook evenly all the way across, because with all the eggs in it, it's almost also kind of like a custard. So we are going to pour this in. And then we are going to mix in the last of our milk. And don't ask me why we do it this way and why we don't just all do it all at one time. But this is how Mike's mom does it. It comes out wonderful every time, and I'm not going to argue with it. Okay, now I'm going to put this in the oven, and as always, the recipe with all the ingredients and amounts will be in the description below. But we're going to put this in the oven at 325 for 45 minutes. And about 2 or 3 times while it's baking, we're going to bring it out and pull it away and stir from the middle, from the outside into the middle, to make sure it all stays incorporated. And during one of those, I will sprinkle on the breadcrumbs. It's been about 15 to 20 minutes, and you can see that it's thickening up along the sides. And you're just going to stir from the outside into the middle. This will keep it cooking evenly. And put it back in the oven. Now I stirred that from the outside into the middle again. You can see there's custardy setting up. And this is the last time I'm stirring it, so I'm going to sprinkle the breadcrumbs and Parm cheese across the top. And Mike's mom does not do that, but I had some left from the green beans, and I don't want to waste it, and it'll give it a nice little crunchy topping. And well, everything's better with cheese. So there we go. We'll put that back in the oven and we'll let it finish up. Okay, there she is, just out of the oven. And I just want you to see, you see how it jiggles a little bit? It's set, it's not runny, but that's what you want. So it's all set. That's why you keep bringing the outside into the middle, because the outside has cooked and set up. You bring that into the middle and keep allowing the liquid parts to keep cooking. So like I said, it's very much a custard with all the milk and eggs in it. So we have to let this cool down, and you know what comes next. So you know what time it is, taste test time. So there's my corn pudding, Mike's mom's corn pudding I should say. I paired it up with the my green bean casserole, my version of it, and a pork chop. And let's give it a try. I love my mom's. My mom's is a corn, more like a corn pudding with bread, like a cross between a corn pudding and a bread pudding. I absolutely love it. It's totally different than this, but really, really good. But you see how custardy that is? That's what makes it so good. That stuff is so good. This always gets cleaned out in a hurry too. Goes quickly. And as you saw, it wasn't hard to put together. You throw everything in a blender and throw it in a casserole dish. You just have to keep an eye on it when you're baking it at 325 at a lower heat. That you use a shallower dish and that you stir it a couple times part way through so that you get the even cook on it. If you forget to stir it and you leave it go, the outside will be done and the middle will be still real milky and thin. So that's why you got to make sure you stir it. But other than that, that's the hardest thing about it. It's absolutely delicious. Simple, delicious, yummy. So that's Mike's mom's corn pudding that we make here for all the holiday meals, and another one for my Helga's Happy Holidays. Enjoy! If you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, and join me next time here in Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking.